Well, good morning, and it's just a couple days before Christmas, and the fall leaves have just been coming down out of this lovely English oak we've had in our front yard, and I'll blow all these leaves out, and 3 hours later look like I hadn't done a thing. So I got to get to it here in a minute, but in the meantime, I put together a short video, might not be that short, of one of my wilderness patrols up in the San Jacinto Ranger District up near Idlewild. I took a hike up the Devil Slide Trail and went up to the Willow Creek Trail, went to the far end, had a tremendous view overlooking the San Jacinto Wilderness to the north and over the desert. And it was a spectacular hike, absolutely stunning day. I get to wear my micro spikes and got to play in the snow. So anyway, if you get anything new for Christmas this year, snowshoes or crampons or micro spikes, this will get you motivated to go up there and play in the snow, but just be safe. All right, well, I got to get to work. I got lots to do this morning. Well, good morning. I'm at Humber Park out here in Idlewild, California, in the San Bernardino National Forest, the San Jacinto District. And today I'm going to be doing a wilderness patrol up the top of the Devil Slide Trail into Saddle Junction, and then from there I'm going to take the Willow Creek Trail around toward the North Rim Zone and work my way around through Skunk, Cabbage Meadows, and eventually come back along the Carumba Trail back to Saddle Junction and down. So it ought to be a round trip hike of about 6 miles or so. I'm going to wander off trail a little bit. I'm going to be heading over to some of the different Brown Post Backcountry Wilderness campsites. Going to be check them out, make sure there's no illegal firing, pick up any trash that I see along the trail. I'm also going to talk to some hikers, day hikers, and overnight backpackers if I see any, and make sure they have their permits on them today. And right now, I'm the only person at the trailhead, and it's about 40 degrees, and it's supposed to be pretty warm today. It's supposed to get up to 65, which I'm kind of surprised at, but ought to be a good day. I got to carry my pack. I got 3 liters of water. I've got some warm clothes. I got a baby sack just in case, worst case scenario. Got a pretty good sized first aid kit, and I also have a radio. It's over there on the Jeep. I'll be putting that on my harness here in a second. Then I'll be starting up the trail. I'm kind of stalling a little bit. I'm waiting for it to get a little bit lighter so I don't have to use a headlamp. Well, anyway, follow me along the trails. I head up the Devil Slide Trail up the top of Saddle Junction. Well, I haven't even really started up the trail. I just got a Jeep. I can still see it. And a young girl came up, parked. She was heading up and said she was going to go up for about an hour. She looked pretty fit. And she was by herself. She'd never been here before. I asked if she had a permit, and she said no. And, you know, you feel bad for them because the ranger station's not open. They don't have any of the permits at the self-serve kiosk. And you can't do the QR code because there's no cell signal here. And so anyway, so I felt bad, but I had to send her back to town. But it's early enough, and she's not going to San Jacinto Peak or anything, so she didn't have any trouble with that. But anyway, once you get to the wilderness boundary, which is right here, right as you start up the trail, you are required to get a wilderness permit. And it doesn't cost anything. It's free. It's just you can do it online from home using a QR code. You can do it at the ranger station. You can go into the ranger station. And then when they do have self-serve permits at the kiosk, you can just do it that way too. But kind of felt bad I had to turn around, but that's the rules, and she was very sweet about it. And she goes, "Oh, I totally understand where you're coming from and why you guys do it." So, anyway, so she had to drive back down the hill. And luckily, it's not that far. So anyway, I want to keep going. Only one other person here, a guy named Eddie. He was heading up to Taquit's Peak, and now maybe I'll run into him. He had a permit as well, so good on him. All right, I'm heading up. Well, I've been hiking up the trail here for, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. It's starting to get hot, so I think I'm going to swap out my down vest, put that back in the pack, and try to cool off a little bit. I'm pacing myself pretty good, so I'm not really too sweaty, which is the key is to maintain your exertion moisture level. You don't want to sweat too much, you get chilled. I am wearing a merino wool t-shirt under this, and this is synthetic, so it's moisture is, you know, is transferring from my body outward, and it's drying in this nice breeze we got. But I'm about a mile, almost a mile up the trail, and 10 days ago this whole thing was covered in snow. And what people don't realize is you know, when there's snow on this trail, during the day it heats up, especially a few days later, the snow melts, water runs down onto the trail and kind of forms a little icy river down the middle of the trail. And then at night it freezes solid. And then in the morning, you're back up here in the morning, and guess what? You're walking on ice. So that's why they recommend micro spikes. But I've timed it just right, because it's been long enough, we've had enough warm days over the last week that whatever snow that was up here has melted, and whatever ice that was on the trail has since melted as well. And now it's a nice good summertime trail. So anyway, hopefully they'll continue like this. I know once I get higher up I might run into some, because it hasn't really been as warm up there, so we'll see. But in the meantime, I'm going to control some moisture management, probably get caught up on some hydration as well. Well, as I'm working my way up the trail, there's my actually that's my second patch of snow. Not much is left. We'll see what it turns into the higher up we get. Well, we're just a couple hundred feet up the trail from where I just shot that last clip, and sure enough, we're starting to see a little more snow. But what I want to show you is this. Remember I told you how this comes from snow that's melted. Water forms in this little track right here and then turns to ice. And as you slip here, you have quite a bit of exposure down towards Strawberry Valley. Luckily, I can just walk around it because it's been a while, but you know, last week, probably a whole different story. See, now you can see the predicament. You got pretty steep exposure to the left, and you got ice right here. I think I can go to the right and go around this without having to put on micro spikes, because right at the other end of that section, it's nice and dry. Wish me luck. Now, if you're working your way up this way and you've passed Middle Spring, which is about halfway, that's why they call it Middle Spring, and pretty distinct feature. Got some stone stairs, steps to work your way up, and just a marker so we know how much we have to do still. Also ran into a girl that I met at the trailhead who I turned around and sent back to the ranger station to get her permit. She returned with her permit in hand, so that's awesome. At least we got some friendly hikers that are following the rules today. Well, I came across this section of trail that's pretty steep, and I'm definitely going to need the micro spikes today. I just ran across a guy that was an older guy. He was moving really quick, and he had his spikes on, and there's this section coming up that's pretty slick and dangerous. It does have some run out, so I think now's the time. Yeah, I think it was a good choice to put on the micro spikes. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty icy from here on up to the top. Hopefully once I get to Saddle Junction, the incline will lessen and it'll be a little more snowbound. You know, when you're hiking in conditions like this, when the trail's icy, your best bet, I mean, even the snow over here is consolidated, and this is pretty much hard as a rock. But micro spikes are the way to go, you know, and then even at that, it's so hard. You have to kind of punch your foot in to make sure you have good traction. You know, I just passed, well, he passed me actually. Older guy, he was moving really fast and dressed for the correct temperatures. You can tell this guy had a lot of experience, and he was moving quick. And he had on his micro spikes, and it kind of made me feel bad. So I put mine on there in, I don't know, a couple hundred yards back, because it was a pretty icy section. And it did have some exposure, so better to be safe than sorry. Now it's kind of mixed terrain. It's like this section was icy behind me, but now I'm back on dirt again for about another, at least like about another 50 yards, 40 yards maybe, then I hit ice again. So I'm just going to leave the micro spikes on. This guy had some pretty good advice. He says, you know what, micro spikes don't cost that much. It's worth it for the peace of mind. You know, better to be safe than sorry. In the worst case scenario, you wear out your spikes on your micro spikes a little sooner than you had hoped. But, you know, they're about $50 or $100 if you buy the brand name Catulas. And it's definitely worth it for the peace of mind and also for your own safety. Well, it looks like we're going to have some great visibility today. That's Suicide Rock down there, and you can see Diamond Valley Reservoir off in the distance, all the way out toward Santiago Majestic Peak over there, and out toward the ocean. So the sun's coming up over the ridge. It's getting bright. If I'm in the sun, I'm probably going to need my glasses, but I'm going to be going back into the shade here in a second, so it's not time yet. Well, I'm glad I put on the micro spikes because it looks like it's going to be pretty good continual coverage from here on up. We're not too far from the top, Saddle Junction. Well, this looks like the final ascent. Close to it, to Saddle Junction. Well, I made it up to Saddle Junction. It's pretty solid continuous ice from about the bottom of the lower. Well, I shouldn't say that. Well, I made it up to Saddle Junction on the Devil Slide Trail. I hit some ice at the lower switchbacks, about 50% snow and ice and dirt. And then when I got to the bottom of the upper switchbacks, it was about 85% ice. So I'm glad I had the micro spikes. But up here at Saddle Junction, you know, the sun filters through the trees and it's melted some of the snow. So looks like I'm going to go up the trail a little ways here and take a break. Maybe make me some coffee and enjoy the scenery. I don't know. I might hang out here for a bit, see if I get any more hikers coming up. I can check permits. So, but right here, the sun's coming in through the trees. It feels good. It's pretty chilly up here, though. I bet you it's in the. It's got to be in the upper 30s, I imagine. It's not 45. I know that. Anyway, good spot for a break. You know, this is as good a place as any to take a break. Up here at Saddle Junction. It's chilly up here. I'll check my thermometer here in a minute and see how cold it is. But I got a new little toy. I've been buying stuff from Fire Maple. I know it's China stuff, but it's just so cheap. And then I've been looking for something similar to this, and nobody makes one. You have your Kugelin's egg container, but it holds 4 at the minimum, and I don't need 4. I only need 1 or 2. And this is kind of cool. This is from Fire Maple, and this is just a little egg holder. It's padded. Shows my egg in there, and allows you to bring eggs on the trail if you want to do a raw egg and cook it. This is a boiled egg. I wasn't going to cook a full breakfast today, but boiled eggs sounded good for breakfast. So I'm going to have a boiled egg here. In a minute I'll get out my stove and I'll heat up some water and I'll make some coffee. I also have some Stroop waffles. Maybe I'll have that with my coffee. That ought to be good. In the meantime, I'm just going to hang out up here for a while. I am going to take the Willow Creek Trail around to Skunk, Cabbage, and Meadows. But right now I'm going to enjoy this flat spot and a tremendous view. Here right before Christmas. Well, I'm taking a break here at Saddle Junction, and I fired up my Fire Maple stove, my little petrol 600 pot, so I've got just enough water in there to make some coffee. I've got some Copico coffee mixed with a Trader Joe's coffee. It's going to be in that little green Stanley camping mug. And I'll have my last boiled egg and then enjoy a break here at the top of Saddle Junction. And it looks like it's already at a rolling boil. Boy, that didn't take long. Oh, there's the canteen. At least the lid was off. Or at least the lid was on. Let's pour in some hot water here. Stir up my cup of coffee. And I should be ready to go. And I'm lucky my canteen landed right side up down there. It's a little chilly here. I can feel the breeze. I'm glad I got my beanie on and my down vest. I'm gonna have to put my gloves back on. Now I gotta wait for the magic to happen to heat up my soup waffles as I go down and get my canteen. I have my stroop waffle and my cup of cold coffee. Nice way to warm up here at Saddle Junction. You have to let this coffee cool down a bit, it's too hot. Been up here for about 15-20 minutes, haven't seen anybody yet. I'll give it another half hour or so, then I'm going to start up on the Willow Creek Trail. Well, last time I was down along the Willow Creek Trail, this was all lush green ferns, and now it's all dead. It's winter time, so. But I did find a Christmas tree. Anybody looking for a Christmas tree? It's almost Christmas. It's gorgeous up here, nice and quiet, except for the occasional jet flying overhead. Well, as I'm working my way down through the Willow Creek Trail, I'm not too far from the junction of the turnoff. It goes to Skunk, Cabbage, Meadow. And even though the snow is a little deeper, it's pretty crunchy, and I'm kind of glad I kept my my micro spikes on. It just makes it a little easier. But I can see the sign here at the junction. I might go a little ways past the junction. The north rim zone has a couple of brown post backcountry backpack campground sites. So I'll go a little ways and I'll go check on them. Then I'll come back here to the junction and continue along the Willow Creek Trail towards Skunk Cabbage. Now from along the Willow Creek trails, I'm nearing the creek. Had a great view looking over toward the desert from here. Either I hear water flowing or that's just wind rustling through the trees. I'm not sure. This is Willow Creek. Well, I'm taking a break here along the Willow Creek Trail. I'm actually at Willow Creek right now. Water is flowing in Willow Creek, which is nice. I don't need a refill or anything, but in the event you did need one, water is flowing. I'm sitting on my little sit pad here. Number one, to keep my butt dry, and plus two, for a little bit of insulation. I haven't seen anybody on the trail since Saddle Junction. It is a gorgeous day up here. This trail continues on. It goes all the way to Round Valley, believe it or not, Long Valley, at the Tram Ranger Station. So if you so were inclined, you could take this trail all the way to the tram and take the tram back down to Palm Springs. Or you can loop through Hidden Divide to work your way through Round Valley, pick up on the PCT and head south on the PCT back to Saddle Junction. Be a long day. I think it's 18-19 miles round trip. Still got my micro spikes on. They've been working great. The trail from Saddle Junction along the Willow Creek Trail down here to Willow Creek is meandering. It's not bad. I do have to head back that way, but it's not so bad. There's a few small little uphill sections, but not much. When I get back down to the Skunk, Cabbage, Meadow sign, I'll have to determine whether I want to just head back up towards Saddle Junction or take the trail to Skunk, Cabbage, Meadows. We'll see how we're doing on time. There's a good breeze coming in. In the sun, it's actually warming up, but in the shadows down here where I'm at, it's actually still pretty cold. I'm sweating a little bit, so the jacket came off, beanie came off. I'll probably be hiking like this the rest of the day. I'm caught up on my hydration. All right, well, I'm heading back toward Skunk, Cabbage, Meadow Junction on the Willow Creek Trail. It's gorgeous up here. Nice and warm in the sun with the cool breeze. View off to the desert down below. The whole place to myself. Well, that'll about wrap up this abbreviated edition of Backcountry Trails, my winter patrol up in the San Jacinto district, the San Bernardino National Forest. It was a great day. I said I was the only person I saw once I got back there toward the Willow Creek section. But when I came back down to Saddle Junction, I did run into the guy that was heading to Talkwit Peak. It sounds like he made it okay. And he was heading back down the trail. And when I got back to the trailhead, I actually ran into several people going down the trail that were totally unprepared. They did have micro spikes. One guy and his girlfriend and their dog. Dog was off leash. They didn't have a permit. They were wearing band tennis shoes, and you can only do so much. You know, you can counsel them, you can warn them, you can tell them that they're not allowed to go up there without the permit. But you know, when rubber meets the road, they're going to do what they do. And, you know, hopefully they'll make it up to wherever they're going safely. I convinced them to turn around about 50 yards above where I stopped them because it was totally icy. And I guess they got smart and figured out that I wasn't lying to them. But when I got back to the trailhead, I actually ran into Don, the guy that I saw on the way up that was going to San Jacinto Peak. And he actually made it. He was telling me it was a great hike. There were some icy patches and some snow. And there was also some exposed areas where there was no snow because the sun had been hitting those spots on the southwest-facing slopes. And it was nice and dry. So anyway, I hope you had a great Christmas and have a happy New Year. And we'll see you next year. Oh, don't forget to hit that click and subscribe button. Alrighty, take care. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.